Yeah, what of it?
Welcome to our new podcast. My name is Harry.
My name is Jake.
And my other co-host is the wonderful...
And I'm the third and the final best one. It's Kian.
The final best one.
Yeah.
Cool. So, now that that's out of the way, you guys had a good week?
No, it's been busy as fuck.
What, just work, or...?
Yeah, work. And they asked me to do a bunch of shit, and then they made me redo the shit today. And they sent me a Home Alone gif that said, "I'm sorry." They were like, "Oh, can you do all this stuff for me?" I was like, "Yeah, cool, no worries." And then they went, "Can you redo it to the place we originally wanted it, and then don't hate me?" And I thought, well, I'll say I won't hate you because it's Friday, but secretly...
If it was a Monday...
Oh, no, I'm cursing with their souls, and I've pushed the work through to Monday anyway, so I'm going to hate them on the Monday.
Oh, that's all right. Anything that gets set to you on a Friday, because that's immediate, just Monday work anyway.
Exactly.
I had another bizarre encounter the past week since we've last all spoken. So we go along to the spa day that we've had booked. It was some sort of voucher deal thing, and we go along and we get access to the pool and the gym. I don't want to go to the gym. I want to go swimming. So we go along to the pool, and it's obviously men's and female changing room. It's all posh because it's a health club. It's not a public pool. It's a health club.
It's a cult.
It's a cult. Yeah. I walk in, and I just sort of bomb it to the end. I'm looking for a cubicle because I hate getting my knob out in front of other men. It makes me feel weird. So I find a cubicle which is more like a cupboard. I get partially changed in this cupboard, but I've already got my swim shorts on anyway, so that's okay. And then I think, right, I'm going to go for a wee before I go swimming. Otherwise, you get the thing where you get in the pool and it touches your balls, and you instantly need to piss. Exactly. So I go looking for the toilets.
Everyone pees in the pool.
I don't. Why are you peeing in the pool? What? Why are both of you peeing in the pool?
Yeah, we've pissed with it many times, Harry, and I've pissed in the pool every time.
But doesn't it change colour?
No, that's not a thing.
What?
Here's a thing, right? And I don't mean to sidetrack, but I learned this recently. Probably, I think it was this week.
What have you
know
done?
How babies have waterproof nappies?
You can get waterproof shorts?
Yes, they don't actually collect the piss. I found that one out.
Why were you Googling this?
No, it came...
Did you buy it?
No, but they don't collect the piss. That's how they're waterproof, so that they don't swell up like you see a normal nappy. It's like...
So it just dribbles out of you like you've pissed yourself?
Yeah, so if
what's the point?
Well, exactly. No, it's to stop the poop so you don't get any logs floating. So if they're pissing in the pool, fuck it. I'm pissing in the pool as well.
Okay.
If babies can piss in pools, I can piss in pools. If babies suck titties, I can suck titties. It's a whole thing.
If it's good enough for a baby, it's good enough for me. That's why I eat Play-Doh. Anyway.
Right, either way, yeah.
That's how I go. So I'm looking for the toilets, and they're back the other end of where I've been. So I'm walking down there in my little swimming shorts, got my fucking massive feet just like flopping down. And I turn the corner and find the toilets, and there's this guy who I'm guessing must have been late 50s, early 60s.
Oh,
and
God.
He is completely nude, stood at the sink. His towel is around his ankles, and he's got like a whole fucking cabinet's worth of like shaving foams and beard oils. He's got no beard, by the way, and he's just stood at this public sink, knob out in front of everyone, just shaving away.
It wasn't a swingers club you accidentally walked into.
No.
The club didn't realise.
I reckon you must just hit an age where you don't care anymore. And
it's 25. I've hit that age.
10.
What are you doing?
25.
Well, I mean,
I'd
Kian's
walk around
fucking
my knob
pissing
out.
in pools and stuff, so...
You're not
pisses in public. That's my weekend activity, just walk around bathrooms making other people feel uncomfortable.
Oh,
God.
I deliberately turn up cold as well with no shame, so they just get confused.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how's he got a baby stomach and that much confidence? No one knows.
Oh, he must be over 25. He's past that limit.
The thing is, right? That's
Yeah.
not an irrational fear.
But the thing is, right? As a
Hmm.
man who's been in rooms with multiple naked men, number one is you don't look at it. Number two is you just don't discuss it. You know, like mental health or other issues. You just mosey on through.
Yeah, but now the issue is you have to pretend like you're like there's a courtesy when you're at a urinal. You kind of just look blankly at the wall or up in the ceiling. Now
Yeah.
you got to pretend everywhere as like you stood at a urinal.
Wait, why are you
Exactly.
looking at the ceiling?
Like, you just, eh?
Why are you looking
look
at the
dead
ceiling?
forward. Who
Yeah,
looks, that's so sus
No.
looking at the ceiling.
No,
I
it's
look
not
over my
ceiling.
shoulder.
Telegraph.
Look over me.
You look dead straight. That's it. You just look. You put your head in a neutral position and you lock eyes with the wall, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Just float up.
After
No.
you're done pissing, you need to draw a 1-to-1 replica of the grout that you were examining whilst you were at the urinal.
Exactly. If you
Then
can't,
you're-
then you're
that's
being
good.
a nonce.
Exactly. I can't cook. I tried to be romantic and cook my significant other a spaghetti
Oh.
carbonara.
The carbonara.
But she said to me, don't the fucking egg in it. You gotta cook it slow and you gotta cook it on a low heat. My brain took that as, oh, that's just wasting time. I'm gonna put it on a high heat to have it done quicker. I made scrambled egg and
No.
spaghetti. Long story short.
I don't know if I'm the type of person to see 120 as the cooking temperature. Like 240 half the time. That'll work.
Mate, it's a big brain move. More
No,
heat,
but-
less time.
The thing is, right, and me and Kean have discussed this at length.
Mm.
Like, you can have all the best intentions, ready to do everything. Like, I'm gonna turn my life around. I'm gonna stop smoking crack. I'm gonna clean the flat. Like all those things.
Yeah.
As soon as a text message comes through, oh babe, I'm on my way home. Just make sure the flat's tidy. You think, nah, fuck that lady. I'm gonna set my ass. I'm gonna play games all day. Like you can't tell me to do something. It's not allowed. I'm no longer interested. It ruins the vibe. I spend all day building up self-motivation, and you're out here trying to tell me what to do. It's not allowed. No.
That's why I've taken up meth.
Don't do that in the house. It smells bad in front of the kids, man. Can you
I
stop
thought meth
crying
does
after
smell
my
like-
pipe?
Burning chemicals?
What
I- I-
does meth smell like? Oh, well, I mean, there's two options. When you're cooking it or in a home.
Does it smell? I reckon it smells like petrol, doesn't it?
I'm going to go with in a home
No.
because I'm not smart enough to cook it. What does meth smell like? Drugrehab.com. Let's have a look.
I don't think it smells like petrol. That's cocaine that's made with petrol.
Okay, well, this is giving me contradictory sort of smells here. According to drugrehab.com, it smells like either cleaning products used in hospitals, burning
Yeah.
plastic, roses, something sweet, or rotten eggs. So
I feel like it depends on what it's cut with, and that's that,
Or how it's cooked.
or how it's cooked.
you got to
yeah,
do
yeah.
it at 240 degrees because it's
If
super
Gordon
fast.
Ramsay's out there cooking it, you know, it's going to smell like the creme de la creme
Of meth.
of meth, you know. As good as meth
So
can
basically-
smell.
Trying to say there could be a meth sommelier who's just like there, just shaking in his hand. Oh yes, I can really smell the precursor. Oh, it came from a boot rather than a Tesco's own supply.
I'm a Michelin-starred meth cook. We're now moving into the segment currently known as, well, that's a bit fucking weird.
Well, that's a bit fucking weird.
So, Gian,
Right.
go for it. What have you got?
Yeah, my one, and I thought this was amazing, and I'll see what your thoughts on this is. A university over in America has
Yeah.
published. They publish a list every year of words they're banning.
Right.
And I've combed through them, and I've found what I think is the top 10 words that I think they've. So there's a total of 1,500.
That they
but
banned.
Yes, that they're
Okay.
banned at the university. So here's the top
Right.
10.
Top 10, let's go.
So, number one, I think, is the word goat. That's been banned.
Go.
As in not just like the goat, but they banned it because of the acronym.
Greatest of all
Oh,
time.
no.
Right.
The other ones I got were gaslighting. That's been banned.
How can you ban gaslighting?
Okay. I feel like they've just
Get rid-
gaslighted the word gaslighting.
They just gaslighted the word gaslighting.
Gaslighting, that's not a thing. Nah, you're crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy. That's not a word around here. We got infection point. I thought that one was
What?
weird because
That's 2 words, surely.
well, it came under one. There's some others on here that are not words exactly, but they were still on the words list. Quiet quitting. That's also on there because that seems to be a new trend with.
Like quitting is the way. I'm not
Gen
lying.
Z? Gen Z after millennials?
I don't even know what we are, mate.
Yeah. No, 90. I think 97 is the cutoff for millennials. So I think it's Gen Z. They're winter. They're quite quitting. The word amazing.
What?
The word absolutely. They've also been banned.
Was there reasoning behind these, or did they just have a list of sweeping statements?
There is no context behind them.
Does it say what university this is?
It's Lake Superior State University.
It sounds shit, doesn't it?
What else we got? Does that make sense? That's another line that's been banned. This next one, I'm not even sure if it is a word, but the word irregardless.
Irregardless isn't a word and should be banned because it's not a word. I'm with them on that one.
Irregardless.
Enough.
Oh, hang on. It is a word. It's a word in the Oxford Dictionary.
The Oxford Dictionary says YOLO as a word, so I'm not accepting it.
Okay, here's the example they give.
Go on.
The photographer always says, comma, irregardless of how his subjects are feeling, comma, smile.
For me, though, could you just repeat that sentence, but instead of irregardless, say regardless and see if it still makes sense?
The photographer always says, regardless of how his subjects are feeling, smile. Yeah, I think it makes more sense with the word regardless instead of irregardless, because that's just confused me.
Irregardless is dumb as fuck and shouldn't be used.
Agreed.
And that's why it's probably bad because, and the final one I have, save the best for last. On this year's bad list is, it is what it is.
That's a
It is
mantra.
what it is.
That's been
I
added
love
to the
it.
bad list.
I love it. What happens if you say these words or phrases, though? Do you get shot? Is there like a sniper constantly listening?
They didn't say. I feel like it's probably you get some sort of demerit, or I don't know how American universities work.
Did you not know that the COVID vaccine has a small bomb in it, and when you say these words, you explode?
But only on the campus.
Only on the campus, yeah.
So if you're one step over and you say it is what it is, you lose one leg, one arm, and obviously half of a body.
Half a bollock, yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
I'd give half a bollock to say it is what it is.
Really?
It is.
If it was going to upset enough people, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But my guess is it's a university, so I feel like if they saw it on, like, you wrote it in a paper or something, then they would give minus points or something.
Why would you
Imagine
ever
getting
write that on a paper?
Because you wrote it is what it is.
Just finish your whole thesis and just at the end, it is what it is.
Yeah, you know.
You're
regardless
expelled.
of everything I've written, it is what it is.
Regardless.
And then you just get out of that. All that money, all that fucking debt, you get an F.
Jake, what is your
Yeah.
news story?
Right, so the news is, I found this as well. I was searching for screens to split desks, and Microsoft thing threw a bunch of news stuff at me. And one of them was an intruder broke into Windsor Castle and threatened the Queen. And I thought, it's a bit redundant now she's dead, but he did it in 2021, so we'll give him props.
Okay, and we're only hearing about the story now.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it was on the
it was
yeah, I saw
it was
that.
all over the news and it's now, so I'm assuming that
Oh, okay.
they hit it.
Yeah.
But essentially, right, he stalked Windsor Castle. He stalked, according to the news article, he stalked Windsor Castle with a crossbow. And when he was caught, he had intent to injure. He was arrested under Section 2 of the Treason Act, 1842. Which I think means he
that was
gets
written
hung.
for him. They knew he was
Surely.
coming.
I was gonna say, surely he's getting hung.
Maybe he'll just be banished or sent to exile.
This is it. He's going to get leprosy and left out to rot. But
We're gonna ship him off to Australia, and he's gonna get scurvy.
but as you're aware, probably aware, he wasn't the only person to break into castles and threaten the Queen. On the 9th of July, 1982, a painter and decorator decided he would break into Buckingham Palace, and he entered the Queen's bedroom at 7:15 a.m. He woke her up and just chatted with her until security came.
I wonder what they talked about. Do you prefer Dulux or B&Q's own paint? Because sometimes I like the advert with a little fluffy dog on it, and she's just like, "Oh yes, I like the colour pigeon grey personally," and then he just loses it.
I'm not going to lie to you. Until I was about 14, I thought the Dulux dog was called the Durex dog.
That's different.
It's a whole new game. Yeah, but he also broke in. So the painter and decorator broke in earlier that year. He helped himself to a half bottle drunk of wine and some presents of Prince William when he was a baby. So,
I bet he got those diapers and he just spent the rest of the day shitting himself and pissing and going, "These are great."
Yeah, running around with a Colin the Caterpillar cake.
Yeah.
Half bottle of wine and some diapers. What a legend.
Oh, what a day!
So I feel like the royals don't know what the Colin the Caterpillar cake is. I feel like that's beneath them.
Colin's quite a Tory name though, so maybe.
It is.
They've got like a cast gold version.
The ultimate Colin.
I just feel like, if someone sat at home and they're like, "Do you know what? We should do a B&E," and their painter and decorator mate's like, "Yeah, let's do it, but why don't we just go to Windsor Castle and break in there?" It's a level of audacity I aspire to have.
I have found a fantastic news article from Lad Bible. 22nd of January, 2023. Obviously, it's been very cold in America. And
it's been quite cold.
Unfortunately, the weather has affected certain furry little friends. The headline I have found is, "Raccoon found frozen to railway track by testicles." And it comes with an image. This is the image.
You can't send me.
So, for anyone that listens to this, the image is just a close-up shot of a raccoon sat dead upright, just staring straight ahead, straddling a railway line. So they say, headline says, "A railway worker had to intervene to help out a poor raccoon that found himself in a compromising position with his testicles stuck to a frozen railway line." And then it basically goes on to say that they're not really sure how it happened, but they presume he was climbing over it, decided to stop for a minute, and then his balls just froze.
You know what?
What?
My first thought was, when you get your tongue stuck to a lamppost when it's cold?
Oh, yeah.
All you've got to do is breathe on it. You've got to go, yeah?
Well, I'm not going to do that to a raccoon.
But I immediately thought, you can't do that to a raccoon's balls. It's just wrong. If your friends come, you're fucked.
Do you want to know how they got him off? Off the rail?
Off the rail, yeah, please.
Yeah. 35-year-old Neil Mullis ended up coming to the rescue and saving the little fella, pouring some warm water across him to unfreeze his knackers and allow him to make a hasty escape, leaving only a bit of hair behind on the railway. Now, they also took a picture of this bit of hair, and I'm not convinced it's just hair. It's there for you now. It looks weird.
There's definitely some skin.
My God, what the...
So
that's not just pubes.
That's not just pubes. So what they did...
It looks like he's Kane.
Well, how they got him off was it was Neil and his friend, and Neil poured the water over this guy, and his mate got a spade and shoved it under the raccoon's bum and just kept wiggling until his balls came off. So maybe the raccoon enjoyed it.
I'm just saying, if you change the word raccoon to like
Steve,
gay friend, yeah. I poured warm water on him while my friend got a shovel underneath him until he got off. It just sounds... It's compromising.
The running up to the story today, which was a tough one, the other headline was, it was something to do with a house that's gone up for sale in Liverpool. And one of the rooms is absolutely covered in the Tasmanian Devil merchandise.
I saw the headline. I was looking through the pictures. I was like, "Oh, I wonder what it could be." And then I was like, "No, that's definitely it. There is too many Tasmanian devils." for
So
a
many
normal
Tasmanian
person."
devils.
How many is too many? Because I'd accept like 26 as a max. Because surely you can paint over it.
I'd say it's more than 26. Let me try and find a picture.
You can't paint over it. There were physical things.
Oh, like actual statues and shit.
Yeah.
It was like plushies, dolls, everything. It was.
Burn it.
I'm putting a link. There's a link to the article, and you can see how many Tasmanian devils there are. It's
a lot.
It's over 26. I'm disappointed it's not the entire house, if I'm being honest.
Because if you're going to have a theme, just see it through.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's a lot of them, isn't it?
You could remove that. I could get that out in like half an hour.
One of the comments underneath said, only 80 grand, and it has a Tasmanian devil room. Count me in. So he's looking forward to it.
80 grand? I'd buy that.
I'm looking at the house on Rightmove currently, and 80 grand for that house. But it's not bad.
I mean, the collection's probably worth 50 quid, so, you know, that's a takeaway as well. You're square.
Oh, I don't know. It's a lot of Tasmanian devils, though, isn't it? I reckon maybe one of... Depends how old they are.
I'm lowballing, because, you know, the cum stains, you've got to wash them off. That's going to come out the price.
Yeah, it's a lot of mouths, isn't it?
That's grim.
Show me what you got.
This section, one of us per week will come to the others with a question or a dilemma that we have to discuss. So, this week, I haven't put much thought into it, if I'm being honest. How would you guys handle being in the position that Elliot gets put into in the film E.T.? Now, have we all seen E.T.?
Yeah,
I've seen E.T.
yeah.
Aliens come down, they leave one of their own behind, and he starts fucking with a kid, and they become friends, but then he starts dying, and they have to go home. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Right. So it starts off, you're a little kid, you go outside, you throw a ball, for some reason, into your shed, and it rolls out.
His mum. That's why he throws the ball.
Okay, you cross at your mum, and you throw it into a shed or something, and it rolls back out. What do you do?
Well, like Elliot, I'd obviously discover what threw the fucking ball back. I'd find out it was BET. But when I find it's something that I don't know what it is, you know, I'll try and converse. We'll see what happens. E.T. doesn't really talk. All he says is, Elliot. And that's not really talking. I don't know how much of this you know as a child. I was forever in trouble with my mum for just breaking things to see what would break. Like, I'd snap coat hangers all day long because I was bored. And I thought, let's see if I can twist it before it snaps. And they always snapped. And I feel like if I met E.T.
You twist him and see if he snapped.
If he didn't put up much of a fight, I would have dislocated that little man's body and just sort of snapped him. Like, how far can his head twist, and why is he not moving anymore? You know.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at a picture of his neck now, and there's several wrinkles in it, which makes me think it could twist.
He's a bit of a scrotum-y boy. He looks like a tan scrotum, just from head to toe.
Kian, I'm presuming, would you have the same response? Would you want to wring out his neck?
I was not a masochist like Jake was when he was younger.
Oh, yeah.
I got taught about stranger danger. I'm telling you now, if you throw something in the dark, even at our age, and that motherfucker comes back and you weren't expecting it, see you later. I ain't standing around waiting for find out what was there. That's not a thing.
The next part of the E.T. film, I suppose, would be, so you've come to some sort of agreement with E.T. Kian's pissed off back into the house, but he's followed him. Jake's wrung his neck out, so he's got to look after him now. You've now got to hide E.T. in your home for an undisclosed amount of time. How?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
I mean, as a child, the only place I hid things in my room was either in a shoe polish tin,
Okay.
inside game console cases. Which he wouldn't have fit, so he would have...
Well, hang on.
Very...
I don't know how big E.T. is. How?
Oh, E.T.'s about 3'5" tall. I'm going to say 3 feet 5 inches tall.
Right. So he's 3 foot exactly, apparently.
Bollocks.
Okay.
He weighs 35 pounds. Don't know how wide he is, unfortunately.
He's about a foot wide, easily.
Yeah, I'd say about... yeah, I think that's about right. He's not like a chode body or anything. So...
So, in that case, the only place in my childhood bedroom he would have fit was inside the tall-ass wardrobe I had. That or under my bed, but under my bed was full of other things, so...
What would... Kian, what would you do with E.T.? He's followed you in.
Put him in the loft.
Can E.T. climb a ladder? Does he have knees?
No, looking at the picture of him, it's the same question I had whether or not penguins have knees, and it turns out they do. They're just like in a perpetual squat, and their knees
Penguins
are just
have
in their
knees?
body. Yeah, penguins have knees, right? I had that burning question at 1 o'clock in the morning and had to Google it. Yeah, and it's like their leg goes, it goes up into their body, and then it comes like down back again towards their butt, and then back up. So it looks like they're in a perpetual squat.
Let's presume that's what E.T.'s got.
All right, fair. So, yeah, Kean can definitely carry. E.T.'s got knees. It's under that fucking gut roll.
Gut roll.
The
Don't
force
body shave E.T.
I've had poos that are more attractive than E.T.
Can confirm.
Okay, so that's how you're hiding him. I think he gets ill next, doesn't he? I mean, you start getting ill as well.
You're skipping the beat where E.T. gets drunk while you're at school.
Okay, you come home and E.T. is smashed. What do you do?
You're smashed too. That's how you touch fingers and you get linked with ET. I don't know.
Mate, how do
you? This much knowledge about ET, but I shit you not. He sits there drinking while you're in school, and he gets both of you smashed off what I can only assume is about 4 beers, which is actually upsetting. No,
Oh
I think
my god, they released a "Don't Drink and Drive" image, but with ET. It's going in the chat now.
Oh god.
my
If
God,
you go beyond your limit, please don't drive. Phone home.
love it.
He's in a wife beater next to a Coors Light pump.
You like
No,
Joey
it's an
Swole.
apron because he's a bartender. In that
Oh, he is a bartender. I don't know what comes after this, but I'm guessing that Jake, you possibly may. What happens after PT gets pissed?
Well, after ET gets pissed, Elliot comes home and tells him off, and then he's like, "I'm gonna get pissed again," and Elliot's like, "Cool." And then ET gets sick, so then your timeline goes back to normal. ET's sick, they send him home, and it's all good. Elliot cries because he's a little bitch and a waste man. Imagine you're off your mind on acid or like ecstasy or whatever, or even Molly, and you meet ET in a club and you fucking psychic link, and your vibes are so matched that your brain melts. But just as an experience, just an entire club on one vibe, all like mollied out to some trance music, would be just the greatest night of your life, and you'd probably kill yourself the next week because you could never replicate it.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, how many people can ET psychic link with? Because if he can link with a lot of people, it would be like a zombie thing, surely, but he could link with the entire world.
ET's a hive mind.
I think if ET came to Earth, the best thing to do would probably be Jake's method initially of just killing him before he caused chaos. Because if he can psychic link with everyone and he takes something, then the entire world will be on like meth and will die.
Yeah, but E.T.'s also very bootable. I reckon I could kick E.T. a fair distance. So,
yeah.
Well, what else
how's
is
he gonna touch
£35?
your finger?
In the world,
I
what
don't know.
else is
What's that?
£35?
What's that in kilos?
15
15
kilograms, isn't it?
kilos.
Well, 15.8.
That's
I did that off my noggin.
15 kilos.
That's 15 bags of sugar.
Oh, that's quite a lot, but he's also quite. He looks spongy. If you've got that many fat rolls, you've got to be quite squishy.
If grey matter was evil and tried to come and take over, he'd do a fine job. And he's only.
Do you mean the
I
Ben
don't know,
10
20 years.
motherfucker?
Yeah.
Hang on, which one?
Grey
The
matter.
grey
that small little
matter.
thing.
He does look like Grey Matter, but if Grey Matter got divorced and never
No,
quite recovered
but-
from it,
Grey
Lived
matter
out the rest of his
drinking
days in
problem.
Benidorm.
yeah, as a bartender.
why
Imagine taking ET on a heist. Right.
Bruh.
Okay, bear with me for this.
You could.
Right.
You go in, you convince everyone he's either a celebrity or a religious figure, and that by touching his finger they get blessed, right? They get linked to the hive mind, and then you just fill ET with like ecstasy or something. So all the guards are knocked out, or just fucking loving life. Well, easy to get the codes off them because they're just drugging it out. So they're drugging it out with ET. You can just take it and leave. You just take ET with you, and I'm presuming they'll unlink from him at some point. But
It's going to be quite a far range because Elliot in school from ET was quite far.
I reckon once we get outside of 100 miles, maybe it starts to deviate a little bit.
Just a question though, right?
Yeah.
Like, Like, say ET's tolerance is far higher than yours,
Yeah.
and I start giving ET line after line of kets.
Okay, yeah.
Do you now have ET's tolerance, or could I OD you before ET dies?
Well, the thing is,
Ooh.
you haven't actually taken anything. So I think my guessing would be that it just messes with your brain chemistry. So because you
Right.
haven't actually taken... Oh, well, I suppose if you give ET a stroke, is everyone else going to have a fucking stroke? I think ET could be the perfect assassin. Because I think you're right.
E.T.
Well, yeah,
Why?
I think Jake's
I've
right.
read
If we do discover that ET's got some tolerance to anthrax, then we just have to get ET to boop someone, and then we load him up with anthrax, and the other person dies. He doesn't even have to be there. He could be in Benidorm.
Stop it up his fucking wrinkly ass tan.
Yeah, just a bit of anthrax around his lips. So I think from the initial question, we ship ET off to Benidorm, either kill him or recruit him as an international assassin.
I feel like that's the way to deal with ET.
Yeah. Nice.
Fucking hell. I'm going to finish this podcast with the famous line, I love you, but I've got to do the dishes.
Yeah, nice one. Go do the dishes. I'm going to drink and have some pizza, and Keehan's going to deal with the boiler noise in the loft.
Right, in a bit.
See you later.
Yeah, what of it?